My girlfriend announced it. A close photo with her childhood friend was posted on her Moments. I slowly typed out a question mark. The reply I got was a red exclamation mark. My girlfriend has a boyfriend. So who is this official boyfriend of hers? 1. Because the recent project had reached a crucial stage. My girlfriend Fan Shanshan had been very busy. I knew she wouldn't admit defeat. And that was exactly what I admired about her. I felt sorry for her. Today Fan Shanshan had a dinner party, and I timed it perfectly to go pick her up. Suddenly a friend sent me a message, telling me to check my Moments. As soon as I went in, I saw the post Fan Shanshan made. The text was very simple. Finally together, soulmates. The accompanying picture was also simple. A handsome man and a beautiful woman stood together, smiling brightly like a wedding photo. For a moment I was stunned. Did I suddenly forget how to read? I slowly typed out a question mark to Fan Shan. Damn, instant reply. A red exclamation mark. My girlfriend announced it. But the person wasn't me. In me, I was deleted. In an instant, a surge of anger rose up. I could accept being broken up with, but not being suddenly abandoned and betrayed like this. Without thinking, I dialed Fan Shanshan's number. Before I could even speak, I heard a delicate, female voice on the other end of the line. Hello, who is this? It wasn't my girlfriend's voice, but it was very familiar. It was her best friend, Lin Wan's voice. Just as I was about to speak, another man's voice came from over there. Looking for Chan. I'll take a Chan. Calling her so intimately. There really was a man there. I felt a surge of anger and some disbelief. My girlfriend Fan Shanshan was very clingy, actively avoiding all men who might have other intentions. So I was very relieved. But today's situation really caught me off guard. At the same time, the phone seemed to be handed over to that man. 2 men, separated by a phone. One frantic, the other scornful. Where's Chan? Let her answer the phone. I frowned and spoke coldly. The man on the other end had a magnetic voice, accompanied by a scornful laugh. Who are you? Chan is busy right now. She doesn't have time for you. Who am I? I'm Chan's boyfriend. Let her answer the phone. My voice was loud, almost shouting into the phone. His voice was filled with disdain. You're Chan's boyfriend. How come I didn't know? Stalking girls is not okay. Stop bothering Chan. You're shameless. I was almost exploding with anger. Clearly, he was the man in the photo. I gritted my teeth. This bastard stealing my woman and daring to be so arrogant. Even if we're breaking up, I want to hear it from Fan Shanshan's own mouth. Does he really think I have no temper? I drove straight to the restaurant, the place Fan Shanshan had previously told me about, saying I could pick her up when it was over. But in the blink of an eye, she announced it with another man who could swallow. This night had fallen and the restaurant was brightly lit. I knew which private room she had booked and pushed the door open directly. Bang! Instantly, everyone looked in surprise at the uninvited guest who had suddenly barged in. My sharp gaze seemed to overwhelm everyone. I was in the heat of the moment and didn't care about anything. I just barged in. Looking around, I didn't see my ex-girlfriend Fan Shanshan, but I saw that man at a glance. He was tall and straight, a blue suit making him look very slim, and he looked at me with a hint of a smile and contempt in his eyes. I stared at him and sparks seemed to fly in the air. The atmosphere was somewhat still and tense. Everyone vaguely guessed what was going on. I was familiar with some of Fan Shanshan's colleagues, so they naturally recognized me and wouldn't rashly kick me out. But not everyone could hold back their anger. Like my girlfriend's best friend Lin Wan, she stood up, her face disgusted when she saw me, frowning as she looked at me. Su Cheng, how did you barge in here? This is our company's gathering. Don't disturb us. I stared at her coldly. Don't force me to curse a woman. Lin once seemed frightened by my cold gaze and aura, her face turning pale. When have I, Su Cheng, ever been subjected to this kind of treatment? Sir, is it not very polite to speak to a lady like that? Even if there's something, please go outside first. Okay. The man stood up, speaking to me with considerable poise, and he gestured for me to leave, clearly wanting to drive me out. Just then, a voice rang out behind me, tinged with surprise. Su Cheng, you're here. It was Fan Shanshan. She was wearing a purple suit, exuding the aura of a cosmopolitan woman. She smiled and walked towards me, wanting to take my arm. I stepped back, slightly dodging her movement. Fan Shanshan's face stiffened, clearly startled by my avoidance, and she looked at me cautiously, saying, Brother, what's wrong? She asked me pitifully, calling me brother. I was easily swayed by this, and my expression softened slightly. Looking at her, it seemed there was something hidden. A thought crossed my mind, and I turned to look at the man, my eyes amused. It seems I'm not the clown here. Let's eat first. I chuckled and ruffled her hair, saying. She seemed to enjoy such intimate contact. A smile on her face, a stark contrast to her cosmopolitan clothes. Seeing Fan Shanshan leading me to a seat, the man's expression stiffened, and his face was not very pleasant. His voice was somewhat cold. Shanshan, who is this gentleman? This is an internal department dinner now. It's not very appropriate for him to attend, is it? Fan Shanshan instantly retracted that gentle smile she had for me, a sharpness blooming in her eyes. Her voice clear, cold, and serious. Huan Ron, why haven't you left yet? Since you said it's a department gathering, you should leave too. I wanted to laugh a little one. Fan Shanshan is with me. She's a gentle kitten, but at the company, she's a powerful woman with the title of Ice Queen. The man called Huan Ron paused, a little embarrassed. We haven't seen each other for so long. I came to have dinner with you. You have a dinner with me. Did Lin want to ask you to come? Fan Shanshan waved her hand to interrupt, her face slightly cold. The assistant originally wouldn't have the opportunity to attend tonight's gathering. Huan, did you take it upon yourself to bring someone along? Fan Xian likes to curl up on the sofa to read novels after work. Every time she sees the male and female protagonists separated due to the incitement of their best friends and their subtle, manipulative words, she gets so angry that she slams the table. Therefore, she has always disliked her best friend interfering in her relationship, and she clearly distinguishes between work and personal life. Huan Ron lowered his eyes, seeming a little sad. Lin Wan is also well-intentioned. I was the one who wanted to have a meal with you and walk together after the dinner is over. A cold smile hung on the corner of my lips. What are you pretending to be? You green tea man. Still saying have dinner with you, walk together. What does that mean? You're thinking about rekindling old feelings. In front of me. From the words just now, I've already guessed the man's identity. Fan Shanshan's so-called childhood sweetheart. That's all, but so what? Lin Wan's face was deathly pale. As if frightened, Lin Wan's voice carried a hint of tears. Shanshan, why are you saying that? I only brought Huan Ron because he just returned to the country. Wan is your childhood sweetheart. It's not easy to reunite. You must have a lot to talk about. But unfortunately, she met her girlfriend Fan Shanshan, who didn't buy it at all. Lin Wan, I said, don't involve personal emotions during work hours. Go home after work and bring someone to the company's gathering. What were you thinking? Now Fan Shanshan is my girlfriend, and Lin Wan still wants to help Huan Ron steal me away, which is a bit much. I've guessed the general situation. They secretly used her phone to stir up trouble, while Fan Shanshan went to the restroom. I just didn't expect I'd be so brave as to show up at the scene directly. Hearing Huan Ron's words, Fan Shanshan's expression immediately turned tense. She quickly grabbed my hand, clarifying her relationship. Brother, don't listen to his nonsense. I have nothing to do with him. He only appeared today as a project liaison. Huan Ron widened his eyes, looking quite hurt. Shanshan, you weren't just. Before he could finish, Fan Shanshan interrupted him immediately. Don't call me that. Our cooperation will continue. But this gathering involves internal company information, so please leave first. Then she glanced coldly at her best friend and coldly uttered 2 words. Get out. Even if I didn't know what happened, judging from my reaction, it was likely caused by her, since she wanted to stir up trouble. My girlfriend didn't give her any face. Huan Ron and Lin Wan looked ugly. Their mouths opened and closed, but they didn't say anything and turned to leave. The dinner continued, but everyone had different thoughts. They obviously didn't expect to see such a big drama. After a moment, we excused ourselves, saying we had other business, and left, leaving a group of people staring at each other. Walking out of the private room, Fan Shanshan intimately took my arm. She couldn't maintain her aloof queen image anymore, and started to act coquettish towards me. What's wrong, brother? Don't be angry. Okay. I didn't say anything. Just opened her WeChat moments and showed it to her. Even though I knew this probably had nothing to do with her, I couldn't help but be a little angry. Fan Shanshan's pupils shrank. The next moment, a hint of anger appeared on her face. I rarely saw Fan Shanshan angry, but now I saw it. That angry look even made me feel nervous. Sure enough, women are not to be trifled with. I knew someone was going to be in trouble. Brother, you wait. I will give you an explanation, she said, gnashing her teeth slightly. Just then, we saw Lin Wan and Huan Ron, still at the entrance of the restaurant. I felt a toothache. They hadn't run yet. Fan Shanshan quickly rushed over. Shanshan, why are you? A hint of surprise flashed in Huan Ron's eyes. His handsome appearance was indeed outstanding, and the beauty in his eyes was moving. But facing the angry version of Fan Shanshan, she wouldn't fall for that. Where's my phone? She coldly asked Lin Wan, her tone clear. The unceremonious words were difficult for Lin Wan to accept. Her body swayed slightly, looking pitiful. Huan Ron stepped forward, standing between the two, his tone gentle. Don't ruin your sisterly relationship because of me. Chanchi, your phone is with me. I accidentally took it just now. He apologized softly. Fan Shanshan and took the phone with a cold face, then opened her WeChat moments. Almost instantly, her face turned dark, and her WeChat moments was almost exploding. Congratulations. Congratulations, congratulations, a match made in heaven. Is that Huan Ron? The CP I've been shipping for so many years is finally together. These were Fan Shanshan's old friends for many years, and they were all chiming in, sending constant private messages. But why isn't it Su Cheng? These were friends who knew about my existence, and they were also constantly sending messages, asking about it. Although we didn't often show off our love on WeChat moments, we would occasionally appear in each other's moments. Now that it had suddenly changed, who wouldn't be curious? And my name was lying in the blacklist. I took a look. Wow, hundreds of messages. Lin Wan, how dare you touch my phone? Still need to use my phone to post on moments. Fan Shanshan was about to explode with anger, scolding Lin Wan in the middle of the lobby. The two were childhood friends with a good relationship, but after being with me, they naturally shifted their focus to me. But she never expected the other party to be so bold. Many people turned to look at the scene. After hearing the noise, their faces full of gossip. Shanshan, don't be so angry. Huan was just joking. Fan Shanshan coldly pointed at him. I told you not to call me Chanchian. Don't force me to fall out with you. Doesn't this have anything to do with you? It was also the first time I witnessed my girlfriend's full power combat ability. I couldn't get a word in edgewise. At the same time, I received a call from home. What's wrong between you and Shanshan? Su Cheng, I'm telling you, if you don't bring my daughter-in-law back, don't come back. Sure enough, when a woman explodes, no one can withstand it. My mom's interrogation was even more terrifying than my girlfriend, and I quickly reassured her that nothing was wrong. Just a small accident. 3. When I came back to my senses, there were 2 more police officers at the scene. Fan Shanshan was angrily explaining everything. Lin Wan's face was pale, and she looked at her in disbelief. Shanshan, we're best friends. How can you treat me like this for Su Cheng? You called the police to arrest me. She was trembling slightly with fear in her eyes. Huan Ron's expression was also unsightly. Explaining, officer, we are good friends. We were just joking just now. Arresting someone would be a different matter. Lin Wan was crying like a pear blossom in the rain, and even the police officers were speechless. This matter isn't something you can just dismiss as a joke. Using someone else's mobile phone without permission and spreading information that damages their reputation has already caused mental harm. Chanchi and the 3 of us are good friends. You can't do this. Huan Ron's words were cut short. Fan Shanshan's voice came. Officer, I suspect that he instigated this. I hope you investigate together to see if he wants to achieve some unknown secret by ruining my reputation. Huan Ron's eyes widened. I couldn't help but laugh. Shanshan, for a man, you don't even care about our sisterhood. You weren't like this before. Lin Wan was tearful and pale. I just think you and brother Huan Ron are childhood sweethearts. It would be too much of a pity to miss out. I just wanted to help you. She said it with confidence. I was speechless. It was simply sophistry. What do you mean? It would be a pity for others to miss out. What about me? Am I just supposed to die? However, Fan Shanshan didn't care about her performance at all at this moment, and angrily said, who I'm with is none of your business. Why did you blacklist my boyfriend? If you like Huan Ron, go for it yourself. What do you mean by bringing me into it? Is that really for my own good? Fan Shanshan was in full force at the company. I am your boss. Do I need you to teach me how to do things? You can't escape responsibility for bringing people to department gatherings without permission, in case any trade secrets are leaked. Lin Wan was speechless. Huan Ran's face was ugly. You don't trust me. Fan Shanshan was extremely domineering. Of course not. I was stunned on the sidelines. I originally thought I was coming to a showdown and breakup, but I met two clowns instead. And Fan Shanshan's unhesitating call to the police quickly revealed the whole story. The photos were secretly taken during commercial communication between the two, and the captions were secretly edited and sent by Lin Wan. She thought it would evoke her memories of the past. Unexpectedly, it provoked a furious series of punches. In the end, Huan Ron pleaded with Fan Shanshan's father, and only then did the matter come to an end. However, for the sake of Fan Shanshan's reputation, Lin Wan and Huan Ron needed to record a video explaining and apologizing. In front of the camera, the two read the apology draft. The previous incident was all a joke. Please do not misunderstand. I sincerely apologize for the impact on Mrs. Fan Shanshan's reputation. I watched the whole thing from the sidelines, finding it a little amusing. What kind of childhood sweetheart drama is this? It's really not presentable. Fan Shanshan posted the video on her WeChat. Moments without hesitation, triggering a new round of heated discussion. It barely eliminated the impact of the previous official announcement post. Before I could even draw my 40-meter blade, my girlfriend had already unleashed a series of combo moves that made him run away with his head in his hands. Chan told me that Huan Ron was the son of her neighbor, just a childhood playmate. So there was no such thing as childhood sweethearts. As for Lin Wan, she was just being purely nosy. The company had just connected with a project, and it turned out that Huan Ron was the person in charge on the other side. So they took a picture together unexpectedly. Lin Wan cropped it and posted it on her WeChat. Moments as an official announcement photo. It was truly speechless. Fan Shanshan didn't care at first, just taking it as a reunion with an old friend. But she didn't expect that on the first day they met, the two of them would secretly cause trouble. How could she tolerate that? Then you're too ruthless, aren't you? Those are your old friend and best friend, I said with a smile. After this commotion, the misunderstanding between us was also resolved. How could you say that about me, darling? You are the destined marriage I prayed for. My girlfriend blinked her watery eyes, looking so pitiful that I couldn't get angry at all. Where did this little vixen come from? Take this, I snorted, carrying Fan Shanshan home for some discipline. 4. I thought that after the falling out that night, Huan Ron would give up. But obviously, he was not someone to be trifled with. He added me on WeChat. Lin Wan pushed his business card. I couldn't help but laugh. He sent me a picture. Fan Shanshan stood piously under a marriage tree, her hands clasped together. The setting sun shone through the branches and leaves onto her exquisite profile. A breathtaking sight. I didn't hold back my praise. So beautiful as expected of my girlfriend. The person on the other end seemed to choke, and after a moment, the words they sent carried a sense of gritted teeth. My feelings for Shanshan are not something someone who appeared halfway, like you can compare to. Today, we are here praying for marriage, hoping the old man of the moon will allow us to be happy forever. I replied calmly, okay. Fantasy bro. It's Huan Ron, not fantasy. He seemed a little frantic. I smiled contemptuously. I didn't care about Huan Ron's provocation at all. After the last incident, I knew that Shanshan's attitude towards Huan Ron wasn't even considered good. However, if I hadn't confronted him directly last time, perhaps our relationship would have been affected, and even a thorn would have been planted. So in a relationship, some things can only be said face to face. I casually dialed Fan Shanshan's number. After a moment, she seemed to have walked a little further away, with the faint sound of wind rustling. Brother, guess where I am? The woman's tone was lively, and she seemed to be in a good mood. I was slightly stunned. How did she know? I wanted to ask her where she was. I'm at the temple, where we prayed for marriage last time. I'm here to fulfill my vow this time. Before I could speak, she said it herself. I was silent for a moment, then softly said, Huan Ron is there too. Chanjin didn't expect me to ask that, but she still answered seriously, yes. The company's project will be carried out on this land of the marriage temple. As one of the attractions, we came to conduct a field inspection together. Fan Shanshan's voice was very natural, without any guilt. However, hearing me ask that, her tone instantly became a little explosive. Is he trying to die again? At this time, Fan Shanshan couldn't hide her bad temper. I sent her the chat history from just now. Is he sick? We're here for an inspection with a group of people. And he says I came with him to pray for marriage. Shanshan directly exploded. I rubbed my forehead. This little girl was more anxious than me. The next second, the voice call turned into a video call. Not far away, a group of people in suits and ties were discussing something. Most of them were familiar faces, members who appeared at the last dinner. And on the side, Huan Ron stood under the marriage tree, seeing Fan Shanshan looking over. A bright smile appeared on his face. A bit punchable. I gnashed my teeth. A little brother. Why don't you come over too? We must make him give up today. This Huan Ron is just fantasizing. Her reaction was truly perfect. I was very satisfied. After all, she was blessed by the marriage temple. I directly floored the accelerator and sped over. It seems the last lesson wasn't enough. So let's have another one. The distance wasn't far, and I quickly arrived at the scene. As soon as I arrived, I saw my little girlfriend standing at the entrance, looking in the direction I came from, like a stone statue waiting for her husband. I chuckled and pinched her cheek. Brother, you have to believe me. It's a good thing you didn't misunderstand me, like the male leads in novels, and just dump me. Her eyes were teary, and she looked at me with a wronged expression. I rubbed her head and softly said, I'm here. This little girl, deeply influenced by abusive romance novels, was afraid that there would be problems between us. How could I bear to let go of a girl like her? So, if anyone tries to steal her away, they'll have to ask my fists if they're tough enough. If Huan Ron keeps interfering, then don't blame me. When Xian appeared, holding my hand, everyone there greeted me. After all, I am their female boss's partner. How could they not be respectful? But there were exceptions. Huan Ron's face was unpleasant, as if he didn't expect me to appear so quickly. It's like a keyboard warrior being invincible online, but a complete disaster offline. I glanced at him coldly, my eyes filled with disdain. Xian Director Fan. With a look from Fan Xian. Huan Ron swallowed back the title he was about to say. Today is a project site inspection. Bringing outsiders isn't appropriate, right? I smiled. Is he still using the same old tricks? I smiled brightly and extended my hand to him. Let me introduce myself. The second person in charge of this project, Su Cheng. Hearing my words, Huan Ron was completely stunned. How is that possible? His face turned slightly pale, his eyes revealing a hint of shock. I shrugged, smiled, but my eyes were cold. I'm not pretending anymore. I'm coming clean. I'm a rich second generation. He wanted to suppress me with status. How could I let him have his way? The Su family is deeply rooted in this area. Why would I be afraid of him? Back then, the Fan family was weak and wanted to use marriage to return to their peak. However, Fan Xian didn't want to, and I didn't want to either. She said I could succeed on my own. So she worked very hard and was known as the queen. But in her spare time, she would also seek marriage luck. Then she met me on the way down the mountain. After an accident, we got to know each other, and finally got together. When we found out each other's identities, we were both stunned for a long time. It turned out we had a chance to meet long ago. But it's also good. This kind of encounter is more like a beautiful fairy tale. I can't bear to see Fan Xian working hard. Even though I know she wants to prove herself, I still help. This project is a joint effort between the Sui family and the Fan family. I'm also listed as a person in charge. It's just that I usually don't interfere with specific matters. So many people don't know. Now, hearing my words, they were all a little stunned. After others explained in a low voice, they understood that I am the local power. So-called strong dragons can't suppress local snakes. But Huan Ron is not even a dragon. I understand. You must have used your identity to force Chen to be with you, right? Huan Ron's face changed. Then he confidently spoke. I looked at him, my eyes filled with a hint of pity. Huan Ron, have I been too polite to you, making you think you can casually judge others? Who I like to be with is according to my heart. How can you fabricate it randomly? Fan Xian looked at him with a livid face. His words were practically saying that she was being opportunistic. How could she tolerate this? Xian, the three of us grew up together. How can an outsider affect our relationship? Just then a female voice appeared. It was Lin Wan. I admire her. How is she everywhere? Back then the Fan family had risen. The Yin family had also returned from doing business. Abroad, only Lin Wan's family was still ordinary. Remembering old feelings, Fan Xian had always treated her as a close friend, taking care of her, and even had her join the company as her assistant. As a result, she took advantage of their close relationship to privately use Fan Xian's phone to post on social media. She was fired after that night. Unexpectedly, she ended up becoming Huan Ron's assistant and was brought here today. I thought I could repair the relationship in this romantic place, but unexpectedly I appeared in the blink of an eye. Outsider. Sorry, as far as I'm concerned. You are the outsiders. My brother and I are about to become family. Through marriage. Chan Chan's willow eyebrows shot up, filled with sharpness. These words left Lin Wan speechless. I thought as simple sisters. Before misters would bring Fan Shanshan back, but I never expected her to choose me so firmly. Do you think I insisted on choosing this location for no reason? It's because this is where Su Cheng and I first met. You and Huan Ron. Your so-called tricks are truly laughable in my eyes. Fan Shanshan's words were sharp, leaving him no face at all. Huan Ron's face was unsightly, his previous composure gone. As for Lin Wan, if you still value our sisterhood, you shouldn't interfere in my relationship like this. You can figure it out yourselves. My girlfriend snorted coldly, not caring about their gloomy stares in the slightest. She can thrive in the business world like a battlefield. Would you be afraid of such minor characters? Before leaving, Yuan Huang Ran pulled me away from the others. His eyes were dark, tearing off his hypocritical mask. Su Cheng, you think you'll be laughing in the end? It's not certain he'll be laughing last. The reason I'm still being polite to you is because you and Shangshan are old acquaintances. If you really don't know what's good for you, I'll make you crawl back out the way you came. I retorted with a cold laugh. I had the confidence to say such words. The wind howled, scattering the words. I knew he wouldn't listen. Fortunately, I didn't intend to back down either. Who will laugh last? Isn't it obvious? 6-hour relationship heated up quickly, and both sets of parents arranged a dinner to finalize the marriage. It was essentially an engagement dinner watching. Let me tell you what happened last time. Scared your mother to death. If you dare make Chanshan leave you, don't come back. We don't want you either. My mom smiled, stroking Fan Shanshan's hand, her eyes gentle. Then she turned to me and scolded me. I told you. That was someone else's prank. I muttered softly. My mom glared, and I didn't dare to argue further. Indeed, my position in the family was worrying. Okay, I promise to cherish Chanshan and not let your daughter-in-law run away. I replied with a cheeky smile. My mom slapped the back of my head. You're getting married soon, and you still can't be serious. Look at what a good girl Chanshan is. If you were my son, how could I agree? I felt helpless, and Chanshan covered her mouth, giggling. Opposite us, Chanshan's parents were also smiling and nodding, very satisfied with our atmosphere. Of course, they valued the family atmosphere their daughter would have after marriage. So far, everything looked great. Just then someone pushed the door open. I raised an eyebrow. It was Huan Ron. He was following a middle-aged man who looked a lot like him. Old Fan, long time no see. The man said with a smile to Fan Shanshan's father. Fan Shanshan's father put on a polite smile. It has been a long time, but I've been busy with my daughter's wedding recently, so I haven't had time to invite you for tea. You and Huan Ron's father sighed somewhat. I didn't expect so many years to pass. Huan Ron and Shanshan were childhood sweethearts. Now they're so big. I still remember them playing together when they were little. Speaking of the children, the girlfriend's parents' faces also softened, sighing about the passage of time. I looked on with a strange expression, intuition telling me that Huan Ron and his father were up to no good. Sure enough, his next sentence was, I also remember that they too even had an arranged marriage as kids. Chanshan, when she was little, was going to marry Huan Ron and be his bride. As soon as the words fell, everyone was stunned. The girlfriend's parents' faces stiffened, looking at their old friend with a hint of displeasure. I watched them coldly, feeling a surge of anger. Mother's smile slowly faded, but she didn't release Chanshan's hand. Father, on the other hand, exuded an aura of imposing authority, clearly somewhat angered. Now that I think about it, I still feel it's a bit of a pity. Huan Ron has never forgotten Chanshan all these years. So even though Chan Chan already has a boyfriend now, I still hope to give him a chance and let the young people compete fairly once more. What do you think? The middle-aged man sighed and spoke. I couldn't help but sneer inwardly. Bringing up a childhood engagement now, when we're discussing the wedding, knowing that Chan Ji and already has someone, and has even reached the point of discussing marriage. Making such a request is truly outrageous. Fan Chan Ji and couldn't help but interrupt. What childhood engagement? Is it appropriate to bring up? Things said during playtime now. She couldn't help but roll her eyes a little. I never said I wanted to be a bride. It was Lin Wan who insisted I'd be one, and I only reluctantly agreed. It's very likely that because of this, my chances for marriage have been blocked. All these years. Luckily, I went to pray, and that's how I met Su Cheng. I couldn't help but chuckle. She said it with a straight face as if it were true. Really, that's so effective. When you and Okong get married, go back and give thanks. My mom and my girlfriend's mom were both very serious, discussing going again. Another day interrupted like this by them. Huan Ron's father's train of thought was completely derailed, and he looked rather helpless. Seeing his father put in his place, Huan Ron himself stepped forward, looking at Fan Shanshan with deep affection. Chan Chan, don't you like me? Fan Shanshan was taken aback and quickly waved her hand. What are you talking about? I've never liked you. The gifts and love letters I gave you when we were little, you accepted them all. It's just that I left back then. Otherwise, we would have been together long ago. Huan Ron said earnestly. What gifts and love letters? Fan Shanshan's eyes widened. Somewhat surprised, Huan Ron was stunned, realizing for the first time that something unexpected might have happened. I had Lin Wan pass them to you. Before he could finish speaking, I couldn't help but burst out laughing. So, among the childhood trio, there was another major troublemaker. Clearly the gifts and love letters that Huan Ron asked her to pass on never reached Fan Shanshan's hands. In the end, I really have to thank her properly. What if Huan Ron had used sweet words and flattery in those love letters to coax my future wife? Then I would have lost out big time. Luckily, there's her Fan. Shanshi also quickly realized what had happened. Her expression changed slightly, but she soon said, even if Lin wanted passed them to me, I still wouldn't have fallen for you. Huan Ron, we can only be friends and nothing more. Her words were like a knife, extremely effective at breaking defenses. Huan Ron's eyes instantly dimmed, and he silently turned and left. The farce came to an end. My girlfriend intimately took my mom's hand and vowed, Annie, I've made up my mind to be with Su Cheng for the rest of my life, and I won't change my mind because of anyone else. My mom smiled and gently stroked her head, her smile warm. Of course I believe Chanchian. If anyone tries to steal my daughter-in-law, I won't agree. If you can't even protect Chanchian, then I don't need this son anymore. I shrugged. Sure enough, a grown-up son is worth less than a dog. Looking at the heartwarming scene before me, my eyes softened. Afterwards, my usually stern father brought me to the study. He handed me a document. I opened it and frowned. I thought I had seen the whole picture, but I didn't expect there were other secrets. Chanchian is the Sui family's recognized daughter-in-law. Who can bully her? If you can't protect her, then don't say you're my son. Father was incredibly domineering. Soon, an unwilling Yuan Ran found me again, hoping to gamble with me once more. Whoever wins gets Chan. Chan, who do you think you are? Daring to compete for a woman with me on my own turf. I kicked him over with one foot. Did he really think I had a good temper? Chanchian isn't an object. No one can decide what she thinks. You lost a long time ago. I stepped on the back of his hand and spoke in a cold voice. I never show mercy to anyone who wants to lay their hands on my wife. Su Cheng, you're using your power to bully people. Is this a glorious victory? He struggled to get up, his face twisted with rage. Glorious? Do you think your attempt to swallow the Fan family through Chanchian is glorious? I squatted down and looked down at him, my voice like ice. He looked up at me, his eyes filled with terror. The reason the Yun family returned to Jiang City. Is it a triumphant homecoming? Isn't it more like a desperate flight, planning to stage a comeback here by swallowing the Fan family's assets to make up for your losses? Do you think you can still stay in Jiang City if this information appears in the newspapers? Or will you be torn apart and swallowed whole by your creditors when you go back? I smiled mockingly and threw the documents in front of him. At this moment, It was as if I was the villain. It was her best friend Lin Wan's voice. I'm new. Huan Ron looked terrified, almost crawling to my feet. Please don't tell anyone else. I promise I'll stay away from Shanshan from now on, and never bother you again. I looked at him coldly, as if I were looking at a dog. Get lost, I kicked him away coldly. I still need to go choose a wedding dress with my wife. Being delayed by this bastard. I'm gonna get scolded. In the bridal shop, I saw an incredibly stunning scene. Chen Xian was wearing a white wedding dress, looking like a princess. I walked up to her, reached out my hand and smiled. My princess, are you willing to marry me? She was in tears with a radiant smile. I do. On the wedding day, I saw Lin Wan. I knew about her recent situation. After being fired by Fan Shanshan, she followed Huan Ron as an assistant. But unexpectedly, Huan Ron found out that she had hidden his gifts and love letters and fired her in a fit of anger. She didn't have much work experience and even less skill, so it was difficult to find a job. I'm sorry for what I did to Chanqian. It's okay, I said with a smile. Then can I be Chanqian's bridesmaid? She said, crying. I shook my head with a smile. No, if you really want to admit your mistake, then stay away from Chanqian. I'll only say this once. Even though I was smiling, the coldness in my eyes made her tremble. She left crying. The bride. Shanshan walked up to my side and asked curiously, who was that? I said softly, the past cannot be recalled. The present is what should be cherished the most. The end.